So I'll explain what I'm doing here in a little bit more detail. So what I did was I poured in the radiator flush fluid, and then you have to mix that with deionized water. Never use tap water because tap water has a little bit of impurities that will stay in your system, that's bad for the system basically. So what I'm doing here is I'm pouring the fluid into my coolant reservoir tank, and that tank's connected to my radiator, and that fills up my radiator once the car gets started and water gets circulated. Now on this particular car there is no radiator cap, so with a car without a radiator cap you would fill it up using the coolant tank. If your car does have a radiator cap, you would fill that up by the radiator cap. Just undo it and pour it directly into the radiator. So now I don't know exactly how much to put in, but it's roughly just under 4 liters of water that drained out. So I'm putting approximately that back in, but I will know after I start up the car. So right now this step is pretty much complete. The next step is to start the car, let it warm up to operating temperature until the cooling fan comes on, and then let the coolant flush do its job for 10 minutes. Then shut down the car, let the car cool down completely before you start working on it again, because the coolant is going to be pretty hot. So at this point, let the car warm up to its operating temperature, and keep an eye on the coolant temperature, or the coolant gauge. On this car, regular coolant temperature is straight horizontal, so at the 3 o'clock position. So this might take a while because it is a cold day. So the reason why the car needs to be warmed up to operating temperature is because the thermostat has to open. Right now the thermostat is closed, which isn't circulating water. So for the flushing fluid to go through the entire system, you have to wait for operating temperature. You have to wait for the car to get up to its operating temperature and for its thermostat to open. And when the thermostat opens, the fluid goes through the entire system. So that's the reason behind it. So it's now to the point where the car has fully warmed up and the radiator fan has kicked in. So from this point on, we're just gonna wait 10 minutes for the flushing fluid to do its job, and then we're gonna shut the car down. So that should be about 10 minutes right there. So we're just gonna let the car sit until it is cold enough to work on the cooling system, because the next steps would include draining and refilling the system. So while I wait for the engine to cool, I'm gonna have to find something to occupy myself with. So stay tuned. So now the car has cooled down enough for me to start working on it again. This process is pretty similar to releasing the coolant. All you got to do is just release the radiator drain plug and the engine block drain plug. So it's the exact same process. So this is what came out after flushing, which is exactly what I put in, and a little bit more, which I put it into into the green jug there. So the final step is to fill your car up with the appropriate antifreeze or coolant. So all you got to do is just top it up to the full mark. Start your car, run it to its operating temperature again. Wait for the radiator fan to come on. If your coolant level requires filling, requires a top up, then do so appropriately. And there we have it. Now I just gotta start the car, run the system to operating temperatures, and then recheck the coolant level. There you have it. The coolant level has settled right at the max mark. Don't worry about putting too much in. You can always drain it from the drain plug from the bottom. And that concludes it for this video series. So I hope you found this video series helpful. Please rate, subscribe. I will be posting more videos to come. Thanks for watching. So just remember to put the plastic shielding back on underneath the car, reassemble everything. Please, for the sake of the environment, dispose of the coolant properly. Bring it to a depot that does dispose of it properly. Do not throw this down the drain. Do not throw this out into the streets, as coolant is bad for the environment.